Welcome to the Lost Live Scout, where we tell you about lives lost and the victims of horror movies, TV shows, anime, music videos, and beyond. I am your host, William Browning. Today, I am doing Stranger Things Season 1. Created by Matt and Ross Duffer, also known as the Duffer Brothers. Honestly, they actually did the psychological thriller Hidden. They did the TV shows Wayward Pines, and they're going to do the sci-fi horror with Jeffrey Addis, but Burrows, which is going to be on Netflix soon. This is actually the first in 2016 of everything of their major roles. Stranger Things is set in the 1980s of a fictional small town of Hawkins, Indiana, where the whole town is plagued by the hostile alternate dimension of the Upside Down. Fun fact, the Duffer Brothers actually want to make the show based on the 80s and all the pop culture references too. Like 80s Halloween in season 2. A spring break in season 4. '80s Golden Mall in Mall Adventure. And the '80s Thanksgiving. What actually started as most. Actually, it did start. Stranger Things is actually the first ever TV roles for everybody that actually swell. From Millie Bobby Brown to Caitlin Coder to Wolfhard to from Wolfhard to Dreyer to Heaton, all of them, even Ryder and I will actually tell you about each of the characters and where they're actually going to be from. This is a recount, so how many lost lives to the Upside Down? Let's find out and get to the lost lives. The episode begins. Chapter 1, The Version of Will Byers begins with November 6, 1983. Honestly, this is actually set in the 80s. A lot of 80s stuff come out in the 80s. Even 80 horror movies come out in the 80s. Like my previous Lost Lives count, Bad Dreams, and Nightmare on Elm Street that does come out in the 80s. Back. And Butcher, Nightmare, Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker. And Hawkins, it's actually a story, a nice guy, and we actually met with Hawkins Lab, which Hawkins Lab will be of the experiment to actually, there is actually an experiment in the 80s that experiment with a to actually have, but more on that later. Now, the scientist was actually running to the elevator and tried to get in, but the scientist got caught by the Demogorgon. We actually don't see the Demogorgon until later on, but it is actually the Demogorgon. So, I'm actually going to count it as a kill. He was killed, unknown man, 37 sprinklers, and we actually met the boys. Mike Wheeler, Dustin Harrison, Lucas Sinclair, and Will Byers. They're actually played by Will Wolfhard, Ganza Mazziello, Gil McLaughlin, and Noah McNabb. And also, if you're wondering, if I actually do season 2, would I actually count the new characters? Would I add the new characters? Would I use the new character? Would I actually put the new characters' names in the first episode of season 2? Yeah, I would. Okay. Finn is actually plays in It Chapter 1 and 2 as Richie Toze, which everybody knows as he actually plays as one of the main protagonists who actually are going to take on Pennywise. He played Miles Fairchild in The Turning. He's actually Trevor Spiegel in Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire. To tell you the truth, would I actually do a kill count on that? Less likely, because it would be a capture count. He joined Pixie in Supernatural. It's actually too damn long, so I actually had to do seasons, but I actually had to break it down, and if you actually see the one episode goes off and the other episodes go in and out. It's also from the Finn Lizzie episode. He's also played player in Carmen San Diego. He played. Gaten actually only played in theater. He's actually the only horror themed theater he actually plays is actually Tony Todd, the barber, the demon barber of Fleet Street, and the Blacklist as Finn. Caleb actually played Nathaniel as the in the Deliverance. He's also in The Boys that presents Diabolical as Slow Mo from the Super Kids. Noah plays Tommy from UB Halloween. And Jackson from the Tudors. They're talking about the all the characters that are going to be a part of the freaking of all the seasons. But the main season will in Dungeons and Dragons, which Dungeons and Dragons is a game I played in the freaking 80s. And also, the Duffer Brothers actually base the monsters on the Dungeons and Dragons game. And they actually have they've been playing for 10 hours, and actually they will. The mom said the game is over, so they actually had to go home. And Dustin was going to give Nancy pizza, but I actually will. Nancy Wheeler is played by Natalia Dreyer. She is actually the Banshee in Don't Let Me Go. She Coco in Velvet Buzzsaw. She Willis Howell in Things Heard and Seen. And she actually played Billy in All Fun Games. Now Dustin got the door slam on him, and he wanted to know why she doesn't like the same things. Because she actually dated Steve Harrington, which he actually played by Joe Cleely, who actually is in Channel House. He's as Scott. He's Jackson and Slice. He Kurt Kunkel in Spree. Honestly, you remember influencers and how they get views? Kurt actually kills people on his platform in this horror movie. So, if you want me to do a kill count, please leave a like and comment. They
Well, not tomorrow, but Tuesday and Wednesday. No, not tomorrow. I don't think Wednesday. They're already talking about canceling Wednesday.
They go right through the night to their homes. Will Mike goes out and he actually crashed. he got scared and got a phone call that actually cuts out. He went to the shed and got the gun. And something actually got him and Will vanished. Then the theme song played, and the theme song is actually a combination of synthesizer work, and I will actually say the theme song in each of my playthrough of the episodes. Make sure to watch the playthrough and the Surge of Power out, and we had the title card. The Surge of Power ouches. We meet Jim Harper, who actually played David Harper. He's actually a dock worker in War of the Worlds. Honestly, it's a storybook, but it's also a freaking movie now. And also Nicoma the Red, or Santa Claus in Violent Night. Nicoma the Red, I challenge you to a lives lost count. He dreamed and he actually woke up and he actually took a shower and get ready for work because he's the chief of the Hawkins police force. Joyce Byers. Honestly, she's actually the famous Winona Ryder. She Beetlejuice's old Linda Dietz. She's actually from the reboot of Dracula as Mina Murray. She and Alina Call from Alien Resurrection. She Beth McKine, or the Dying Swan from Black Swan. But she's come back from the sequel to Beetlejuice. Charles and also Charlie Heaton play her son Jonathan Byers. He's Stephen Portman and Shutton, Billy Bowman and Bowman, Samuel Guffley and Campbell and the New Mutants, which I will actually do a freaking live slots count up for that. This is a recount, so she actually is searching for her keys and actually went to Will's room and he's actually gone. And she actually found out that Jonathan was working, and she told him about this. So she called Karen to see if she actually is Will over there, but he's not. He went to school early. Now the bullies actually called Lucas, Mike, Dustin, Midnight, Frogface, and Toothless, or they mimic him as a toothless, or his lips. Dustin said that his teeth is coming. He actually called it cranial dysplasia, which is a hereditary birth defect that defect the bones of the curved bone that catalyzed by the facial features, neural bones, and dental issues. Bone minerality and collarbone that aren't developed or absent allow the shoulder to be brought out together. A cranial solution or seams between the skull and bones may close late. He did told the bullies millions of times, and the teeth come in, and he actually did the arm thing. He cracked his knuckles, and it's actually Dustin's superpower. That's what Lucas said. Now, Nancy talked to her friend Nora. And
He wanted to, and then he wouldn't say nothing.
And after the note from Steve, they actually went to the restroom and kissed. Having a kissing practice. And uptight, and they actually need to study, so they actually have a study process. And Harper is actually drunk. And Joy's at the police station trying to figure out. And Harper say that he might be playing hooky, but Will never did play hooky. Now, 99 out of 100 that they actually run away to a relative. Now it's actually Brenner who actually do the sides that go down to the upside down, and the girl had not gone that far. The girl they actually talk about is 11, who actually played by Millie Bobby Brown, who actually is in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. That's Madison Russell. Will there be a Godzilla Lives Lost count? Less likely, because Godzilla is the biggest movie franchise ever, and I actually have to count the kills in Godzilla, and honestly, she actually is eaten. So it will be hard for me. I need another person to help. Now, she is 11 is actually hungry, so she actually behind the counter eating. And the science teacher, Mr. Clark, is actually in charge of the radio club that actually... The radio club, they actually Lucas curse, and now the principal borrowed them, and Harper actually say, now they reference the Hobbit. Honestly, Fort Byers reference the Hobbit, and it's a flashback that actually Joyce bought Poltergeist tickets for Will. And they actually search for Will. And Benny feed. He asks questions for he actually feed Levitt, and but Benny asks questions 211. And she only speaks only her name and other thing. And her hair is a reference to Mad Max. Yeah, the directors actually had to have her hair cut to make it a reference to Mad Max. They actually cut it. Powers. She actually has psychic powers, and honestly, now they actually searched and found the bicycle, and Hopper and they're going to form a search party for Hawkins' lab, and now the listed callers, and Lonnie is actually 17, and her ex-husband actually hung up on her. And honestly, Hopper show up with her bike, and now he came home, and Hopper say Will and their dog actually start barking. And one thing I know, if dogs bark at something, you need to follow them. And Hopper actually went to the shed, and the lights go off, and he got scared by one of his deputy, and Hopper needed to do a search party. And Mike wanted to do the search, but Karen said no, and no to Nancy about staying with Steve, but until Will is found. But Nancy mad and say it's bullshit. Now he actually, she wanted to hang out with Steve, and Nancy go off, and his dad says, "See what you done? It's actually unfair." And Mike go off, and Karen say, "Oh, I hope you enjoy your chicken." His science teacher, Mr. Clark, say that he a good story. He actually a good one. As about Hopper's daughter, but if he in class, but he actually say she up in Maine. Somebody said she died a few years ago. Years back. And now Mike and Lucas plays safe. And Mike see Steve climbing the house and a study date. And 11 eating ice cream, and he knocking, and it's actually Agent Connie, who actually pretended to be a social service worker. And after Betty is talking, Connie shot at Benny with a silencer at 53 seconds. Now 11 ran and stopped by two male agents, and the male agent got killed at 43 seconds. Benner see her ran and got at the crash site. And honestly, it fixed it to rain, and they actually are studying it. Honestly, Steve want Nancy to strip up, but her parents are here, and Steve want bath Steve, and Nancy said, "You're an idiot. It's raining." And she look over the pictures, L photos, and they are started to cry, and Jonathan to say it's his fault, but it's not. Joyce got a phone call, but the phone actually shocked him. Jonathan, it's not your fault. The phone don't work anymore. Now, Dustin, Lucas, and Mike looking for Will. Dustin is whining, and they said don't be a wuss. And they found 11, and the episode ends. Chapter 2 begins. The episode title is The Weirdo of Maple Street. The storm is actually still brewing. At the Wheeler house, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas ask 11 questions without knowing her name yet. Lucas, Mike say you're freaking her out. Lucas, say you're freaking me out. Dustin say she deaf. She not deaf. Now, Mike give her a coat, and she actually tried to strip, but she give her privacy and make her go to the rest room. And she doesn't want the door closed, so they keep the door ajar. And actually, Lucas says she a psycho. She escaped mental patient, but they actually will never find Will if the mother. Karen actually found out, and the houses will be like Alcatraz. The next night, they will find them, and Mike asked her for her name, and she actually 11. Mike actually told her his name is Michael, it's short for Mike. His name is Mike, it's short for Michael. And 11 is he actually called her L. And 11 sleep. And we actually had the theme song. The theme song was composed with okay. I'm actually gonna go with, but I need to apologize to Stranger Things fans for what I say in Chapter 1 about calling Barbara Nora. That was my fault. I forgot that her name was Barbara, not Nora. I haven't watched it in a while, so it is Barbara. So you don't have to correct me in the comment section below. So again, Jonathan is cooking breakfast, and Joyce is actually still upset that I tried to look for her baby Will. Her work had been 6 hours, and she was making missing posters, and the phone is actually burnt to a crisp. It's actually Will's name, and he actually called from the upside down. I will actually explain how he actually called from the upside down in a little bit. When she actually is stressed. Fun fact, the Duffers actually based the world on their favorite game as kids, Dungeons and Dragons. And also they actually based the creatures in each season. Having the Mind Flayer be on season 3 is season 4. Season 3 is season 3 is season 2. But have the Upside Down is actually like Dungeons and Dragons. And the Mind Flayer is Will got adopted. So they actually based it on the 80s, before Amber Alert ever existed. Where then no cell phones, and there is actually no cell phones back then. The big old bricks, but they're not personal computers. She actually, in a emotional state, that Hopper said that Joyce say that she know her own son breathing, like Hopper know her own daughter, his own daughter. That is actually cold. That Joyce actually go there. Now Jonathan joined the search for Will, and now Mike is eating fast, and Nancy and Mike is arguing because Mike said, "You're going to take a nanny?" Yeah. Mike actually eat fast because he give it all his scraps to 11. Mike got her breakfast, and now if she found 11 to tell her to get help, she actually doesn't want to tell Karen, Mike's mom, because they're bad people. Like Dr. Brenner. Dr. Martin Brenner. Before I actually move on, Dr. Martin Brenner is actually known as Papa, and he actually is going to be featured in a lot of Stranger Things. From season 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Dr. Brenner is up. Didn't get killed until season 4. Listen to the call. He actually listened to the calls of Joyce and everyone do the search party. And Hopper said that Joyce is on the edge. Now Steve is actually having a house party with his parents out of town. Honestly, people in the 80s actually did this when are having an out-of-town party. Now, Steve say it's just sad that Jonathan hang up missing posters. Sad. Why it's sad? Will is missing. For 2 days. Nancy says sorry for everything, and everybody's worried about him. She actually said good luck, and now Mike late for school because he actually showed 11 everywhere in the house. The photos and Mike's at Dad's easy chair. And Elle is actually sitting in his easy chair. If you're wondering why there no kills this season, episode 2, well, they actually say there were deaths in season 2, but I don't even going to count deaths in episode 2 because there is actually no deaths. The only deaths mentioned is season 2, episode 2. But honestly, Jonathan Drive, but it had my first the song on the song count. That did crack me up. Should I stay? Should I go? By the single, by the crash. Honestly, it actually have a lot of songs by the 80s. Like, I Always Watching You from season 2. Or season 3's Never Ending Story. Or season 4's Run Up the Hill or Time After Time. Season 5 will have more songs after this. But Africa was also on here, but I couldn't even... this is the only memorable song on here. If I actually say memorable, Should I Stay or Should I Go is actually memorable because of Stranger Things, and I actually will say Stranger Things actually made Run Up the Hill back on the number one hit on the radio again. And now Will is actually showing Elle. Now there's a flashback of where she actually 10 years. She actually needed a phone and 2 weeks She actually been there for 10 years. She needed advance, 2 weeks advance because she actually had to find her son. Now the agents are actually at the Byers house to search for anything from the upside down. Now Mike and 11 look at his toys, and 11 look at his sci-fi trophies that she actually saw Will in the photo and know about Will. Karen is home already with Holland. And she don't know that Mike is home. And he actually put 11 in the closet. But a flashback where 11 actually got put in a dark room. And she actually said, "No, Papa. Papa." Mike actually lied about being sick. But now Karen actually knows he need to talk. 11 is not okay after the dark room. With a new phone, she actually got a call from Will. And for Will call. And now the Benny's Diner again. And with now I think another suicide. And knock on the door. It's actually Lonnie. It's not a girlfriend. And is Lonnie home? And she said yes. And he actually let in. And Lonnie actually push Jonathan. It's actually Lonnie is actually Jonathan and Will's deadbeat dad. She 11 knows about Will, and Lucas is scared of her and wants to tell Karen all about her, but she actually shut the door with her mind. Now Lonnie talk, but honestly, he actually talk that where his ass is going. Well, you're going to be a deadbeat, be a real good father, not a fucking deadbeat. But learn about Lonnie, missing kid. Now, Nancy don't want to go to the party alone by herself, so she asked Barb. Now, Dustin, Lucas, and Mike actually eating supper. And somebody has actually found the tunnel, and they actually found Hawkins' lab. Now 11 is actually trying to tune in, and she actually asks what is a friend, and a friend is somebody that is there for you. They actually attend now Nancy, Barbara attend a party at Steve's house. It's party time, and Harper and Sandra. But Benny was actually going to go somewhere, but though it was missing before, I actually forgot to tell you about that. Now, she telling them about the Demogorgon and the Upside Down. Where actually Will is in the Upside Down. Jonathan came to the crash site and take photos, and actually see Steve house drinking beer and going to the freaking. And they actually chugging beer, and Barb got cut while trying to chug beer for. Okay, they actually hold the beer can and put the knife in and they actually all went into the pool now. Joyce heard Will on the phone again. And also, now, the phone got ruined again got burned to the crisp. But the lights are flickering in Morse code. From earlier, now she seen them coming. And she actually heard the radio keep playing the same song that was on the car radio. Nancy is actually getting drunk while Barb is sad. And Steve give her privacy. Now, you see her in her bra, and they kiss, and Barbara at the pool, and now Barbara disappears, and the episode ends. Chapter 3, Holly Jolly begins with Barb in the Upside Down, which we actually first seen the Demogorgon for the first time, while she actually trapped Steve and Nancy have sexy time, which means they will have sex. She try to escape while Steve and Nancy have sex. They actually just cut to black while the Rick Never Give Up playing. Nancy feel strange, and Barb got dragged by the Demogorgon and mauled to death off screen. But we won't see the body until chapter 7 at 30 seconds. While they have time of their lives. Now, the theme song plays. This is now. Nancy sees Steve tomorrow, and now Karen asks where Nancy has been. She actually borrowed the t-shirt from Steve and won't tell her, and Karen knows something is up, and she can feel free to tell her. Jonathan heard his mom contact Will, and the lights are now. Jonathan thinks she's crazy and and she actually thinks she's going to find him. And Jonathan, now they actually want to take L11 to the AV room. Now Lucas say the Demogorgon is not real and only use her with her powers. Micah have the watch and say to go at 3:15. And Steve asks Nancy, is everything okay? She said it is. Now they actually have a good time, but now Nancy knows that Barb is missing. Hopper have the tour Hawkins lab. Now they actually want Patrick to do this for them. And now 11 used her powers, and now she actually phone. She actually do channel surfing and have a Coca-Cola commercial. And we actually see a flashback where she actually trained to crush a Coca-Cola and the TV go fuzzy. Now Joyce is actually hanging Christmas lights up. And she actually say, just up Donald just rank her up. Dr. Brenner who actually showed not real security. The worker did not show the real security footage. They actually say that Dr. Brenner showed them the real security footage, but the workers didn't. He's actually lying. Now they actually have the upside down. 11 go upstairs to Nancy's room, and she actually found the music box. And Nancy photos of her when she was young and make 11 sad. And Nancy she asked them, "Have you seen Barb?" She actually said no. A joke of having and her two other friends having sex with Steve. Lucas, Dustin, and Mike. Dustin asked, "Is she an X-Men?" And Lucas said no. She is a freak. And the bullies say Will is dead and Mike is frog face. And Jonathan has developed the photos from the party that he took last night. Now Karen, now the lights, now Joyce hung the lights up, and Karen brought a casserole, and Marissa is now, as for, honestly, Marissa is the librarian, and she actually got asked by Hopper to look in the archives of the library of the Hawkins lab and dig up the past. Now Joyce put up the lights up for Will. She actually did it to speak with him. Now Holly see the lights glow her up and the casserole ready. Now she actually sees something. Then Nancy called Barb home, but it was her mom, and she actually didn't see her. Now she actually missing. But we all know what actually happened. If you actually didn't know, look up part 1. Steve took a Jonathan bag, and now he actually was the last person to see Barbara alive. Now Nancy hated the way Steve did it and broke Jonathan's camera. And now 11 took on the cats of her past and got sent to her room. But she had to kill 2 male agents. One throw in the back of the wall and one neck snap back in 1982. And Brenner just took her, pat her head, and he actually say she proud of her and walk her through the hallways of the lab. 11 sees the flashback, and Mike took her to the Byers' house. And Nancy runs off on her friends and want to know what's wrong with her. And they actually said they actually went psycho on the psycho. 11 and Mike talking, and Mike told the truth that the boys bullied him after he lied to 11, and now Nancy see Barb. She actually go to Steve's house to actually look for Barb, but she actually heard rustling, and now see that the lights after the dog blinking after the dog. Now she actually see the once more the twice for he alive and safe. Joyce is upset, and she had to write letters, and Nancy went home early and say something bad happened to Barb. And now Brenner runs and Hawkins' lab, and Hopper say Will at the wrong place at the wrong time. He goes to the Wheeler. He go to the lake. 11, Dustin and Mike say they had to call the cops. Nothing. And Will, he actually right there. The Demogorgon come out the bicycle to the lake, and they actually found Will. Will is... It's not Will. I will actually explain in the body. And Mike yell at her, say that you should have got him alive. And he go home. Jonathan hug Joyce, and Karen hug Mike, and the episode ends. Chapter 4 begins with a starry night. It's the Byers house because Hopper is actually talking to Joy about what she saw, and she actually talked to Will, but she actually it's actually not Will, and found out hiding from the Demogorgon. Hopper thinks she is doing like he did with Sarah, that he thinks she grieving. Thinking that she crazy, he know that she had to get her some sleep. Hopper believed that her and Jonathan is sad. She actually get the axe from the shed to get to defend herself from the Demogorgon, and wait for it. And now the news report Will's death. The news reporter reports his death, but he's actually not dead. I didn't count him on the lives lost count because he's actually not dead. Karen and Ted wait for Mike, and he actually looked through Will's drawings. And 11 is trying to connect to Will. He's actually mad because he thought Will is alive, but 11 Luke, he think Lucas is right, but he's not. 11 play that dorky song he always sing. He's actually in the Upside Down alive, and she actually bleed through her nose, and the theme song. Why I give the Demogorgon early? Well, he is the first monster throughout the season. There will be more monsters. Let me actually tell you. The Demo Dogs, Demo Bats, Russian Demo Dogs, Russian Demo Gorgons, and Demo Dogs. But season 4, the end of season 4 will be taking up 2 hours. So it will take me a long time before I do season 4. Joyce have a weird dream that she actually saw Will, but Jonathan actually woke her up. Now Mike is actually going to stay home. Now she will try to get Will to answer, but he won't. And so Will, he actually got him the truth. Gary was actually sent home last night. It's actually because state troopers actually from the state to Hopper. Hopper asks about his mom. Jonathan says she have anxiety problems. But honestly, after Jonathan left, she said about the birthmark on Will's arm. It turned out that it's actually that thing is not her son, and Joyce actually say. Now Nancy says she actually saw a guy with the face, and now Steve worried about the cops. Now Tommy, Carol, and now he don't want Nancy to mention about the beers, and now can't believe him. Now Joyce needed to, and she told him the truth that Will is alive and speaking through the lights. And now Jonathan think she crazy and he wanted to do the funeral. She told 11 that he think she channeling, and Luca think she crazy that it's actually fake. And Dustin actually believe that is actually Will. Now they actually going to take her to the school, but dress her up, dress and wig from E.T. I actually don't like the movie because the puppet, it really freaked me out. Now the scientists go to the hole with Agent Shepard. Leslie, he won't make it past, and is slimy, and Nancy is in class learning, but she got called in the principal office to tell the truth that she never leave that Barb never leave. Now they actually won't listen. They think she's jealous of Nancy and Steve, and they room together. Nancy said that Steve and her are just friends. They ask, is it before or after she changed her clothes? Her mom Karen is actually look at her like she's pissed. Hopper asked Gary why the state troopers come. Well, they actually brought in Will, 6 of them, and all the staties, which they actually call, he actually brought before them. They actually all gonna do the autopsy. And Gary say it's actually Will Byers, not John F. Kennedy. Considering it's actually not the president, just a boy. And the TV played that the state trooper David O'Brien Brandon. They ride their bicycle downtown and go to the school, which is an announcement for the gym for the assembly to honoring Will Byers, who actually lived. And the 18th room is locked. And Mr. Clark caught them and told them about it, but they pretend to be sad and they actually want some little alone time. But Mr. Clark meant 11, but they actually gave her name as Eleanor. They actually lied that she actually from Sweden, that she actually hated the zero cold temperature. She also my cousin. Now they go to the assembly and the principal's speech and booming sound. Nancy in trouble by Karen because she mad about lying to the fucking police. Now they don't want to see her. She slept together. She doesn't want to tell Karen because she slept with Steve. Now she cried and took the photos out of Barbara, and she actually saw the Demogorgon that actually in the picture. A shepherd came in. It was low visibility in the Upside Down, but he was mauled to death off screen, and blood was shown at 37 seconds. And the Upside Down closed. The principal the people say say nice words, and the bullies are making mockery, and Troy acted like nothing happened. He got pushed by Mike, and and Troy tried to punch him, but 11 after 11 used her powers, she made him pee himself. Now jumping, picking the casket, and he actually saw Nancy, and he actually thought the picture was an illusion, and she actually told him the truth, and we are able to describe it a faceless man, and Jonathan and her and Joyce had the same reaction, and now Hopper is at Highway Beer undercover and trying to ask his daughter is at as was Spelby, which his daughter actually died. His is Sarah, which is his daughter. Now he recognized him. Now run the salad company. Why he lying to him. Now David is not playing fair, and he just say that they're not allowed to let anybody to get close to the body, and somebody is watching them. 11 is going to find Will, but in the flashback, Brendan wanted him to find somebody and listen to the sound and the light, hear the person's voice, and the lights went off, and he actually heard the voice. Now it cut back to their present, and the lights come back on, and the feedback. And now they actually hear Will call out to Joyce. Joyce is tearing the wallpaper, and now Will is saying it's dark, cold, and empty. And Will and Joyce tell him to hide now. Need him to hide, and 11 accidentally destroyed the radio with her powers and set on fire, and Joyce broke the wall. 11 is weaker from the call, and Joyce made a hole in the house. She actually cried, and everyone ran out because of the fire. Jonathan see the photo in the black room, which black rooms are used to develop photos, if anybody wants to know. That's a fun fact. Now he just wants to observe instead of talking, because photos are windows of the eye, and now he actually is sorry about everything, and now he actually think he knows that Joyce is right. Hopper went to get his hat, but he actually lied. See the trooper, and he actually want to see Will. He actually punched the trooper and see Will's body, but it's something odd. So he actually cut the Will, but why he cut the dead body? It's not a dead body. It's a fake body. And Lonnie just come in and hug Joyce, and Hopper go to Hawkins' lab with bolt cutters, and the episode ends.